well, just a very special day. Very special day. I don't think we could have scripted it any better, to be honest with you, for our senior group. They got their 31st win today, which is the most ever in school history in a 3-year period. And these seniors deserve so much credit for that because they made the decision to come here 5 years ago. Darius came 4 years ago. He was our only true senior. And the mark that they've left, the things that they've accomplished is just very special, and it's just great to see. I think all of them got a chance to play today. But good to get that 10th win for the 3rd year in a row. That's another great accomplishment for these guys. But just a very clean game. The first half was probably as good a football as we've played all year. We scored every time offensively except the first one, and we had a big drop on that one. And then defensively, I think we were 3 and out every time except once. And then we had a stop on downs and then a fumble touchdown by our senior. But, Catanzaro, proud of him. Became the number 2 scorer in ACC history today. Sammy became the career reception yardage leader today. Taj Boyd, 100 touchdowns. Only the 18th guy in college football history to do that. And then we had a lot of young guys do some good things. Boulware led our team in tackles, and he got all of his tackles on one drive, which is an unusual stat, but that's kind of what you expect of Ben Boulware. Relentless to the football, but again, just proud of our team. Proud of how they continued to compete when we played a lot of different guys in the second half. It really worked out great to be able to kind of have a curtain call for some of those seniors. That was unusual that you get a chance to maybe do that in a football game. Nobody does Military Appreciation Day better than Clemson, and today was a special day. I mean, it's just great to see all those guys be honored, and I thought our guys played in a way today that hopefully brought a lot of those guys some joy and put smiles on people's faces that were watching it off at far off places. And then for Daniel Rodriguez to be able to get in the end zone for his first career touchdown, I mean, it was just a special day. Got all the respect in the world for the Citadel and Coach Higgins and what they're all about at the Citadel. And, it was an honor to be on the field with them today, again, and celebrate military appreciation because obviously I know that means a lot to those guys as well. We've, Travis Blanks, looks like we've lost him. We got to get confirmation, but it looks like they think he tore his ACL. Just a really difficult loss because Travis is a great leader for us. He's a heck of a player, but, man, he's a great leader. And but I know Travis Blanks, and I know he'll come back better than ever next year. Just unfortunate, kind of a fluky thing, like most of those deals are. But the rest of the guys outside of Zach Brooks, and Zach's, we felt like that he was ready to go and hadn't really been hit in a couple weeks. And he felt good and strong and just came right back down on that shoulder again. So it was disappointing to lose him. But again, just a great win. I'm excited about this upcoming week and finishing our regular season. You get 12 opportunities. That's all you get. We're 10-1 and trying to get to 11-1. With that, I'll take your questions.
Christian's okay?
Yeah.
Given the kind of competitor that Taj is, I mean, you're up 6 touchdowns well into the third quarter. He's slamming into guys. I mean, what?
Well, I didn't really appreciate that. I told him that was going to be his last drive, but I told him nobody hits you. You don't run the ball. And what does he do? Not only does he run it, but he tries to run over about 3 of them. But that's Taj Boyd. It's just kind of his mentality. But I really wish he hadn't have done that. He hopped up and was ready to go. But it was great to be able to put him back out there and to be able to call a timeout and kind of have a special moment for him. But, just proud of how all those guys competed. And it was good to see him continue to stay in rhythm. I thought his, the continuity and the rhythm and the confidence that we've had in the last few weeks, I thought it was important today that we try to maintain that, and certainly we were able to do that.
Obviously, Taj and the seniors, their resume speaks for itself. But the one thing that they haven't been able to do is beat South Carolina. How big would it be for that class, for your first full class, to be able to do that before they go out?
Well, I mean, you got to give South Carolina, and you're right. I mean, there's many great things, and the list is long for what these guys have accomplished. I mean, it's amazing. But there's a very small list of things that they haven't done, and that's obviously a big one. It's the most important game on our schedule every year, and but you got to give South Carolina all the credit. Listen, they've been the better football team. They've outcoached us, outplayed us, but. It's all about these 4 quarters, and obviously to get a win, not only is it a big win in state, it'd be an 11th win for the first time in school history to have back-to-back 11 win seasons. So it would mean a lot for this senior group to be able to finish the way we want to. Everybody wants to win this game. There's no question. They want to win it. We want to win it. But we got to perform well. We got to coach well, and that's what we go back to work and try to do this week.
When you go about preparing this team for that game and the fact that they've won 4 straight, how easy will it be or hard will it be to get them to not worry about the recent history and just focus on Saturday?
I mean, no different than it's been when every other question that everybody asks me. You lose a game, oh, God, how you going to get them ready to play another game? Oh, you got to do this and that. And, these guys are mentally tough. And, really none of that matters. It really doesn't matter. It don't matter if you've lost 20 in a row. It don't matter. It's all about this game. It's all about these 4 quarters. It don't matter if you've won 20 in a row. It's next game. You got to play the next game and always prepare your very best each and every week, regardless of who the opponent is. It's not like we're going to all of a sudden do something different. Okay, and let's really practice this week. All right, let's really have good meetings this week. We prepare every week to put our best foot forward, and we just got to play well. They've outplayed us in those games. But again, it's all about this Saturday and trying to, stay on track and finish the way we want to finish.
You probably don't pay attention to much of it during the year, but this year seems to be kind of quiet because sometimes there's some chatter and some chirping back and forth between the 2 programs. There really hasn't been that this year. Have you noticed that there hasn't been that?
I really hadn't paid any attention to any of that kind of stuff. I mean, I just focused on our team, Clemson, trying to be the best that we can be. We've had an excellent year. We've been in the top 10 from start to finish, and we want to stay that way. So our focus is just on ourselves and trying to, develop a great team. It's not easy to win a game, much less 10 of them out of 11. So I'm proud of our guys for the focus and the mentality that they've brought all year. And and hey, South Carolina, you got to say the same thing for them. They've had their own season to deal with, and they've done a great job. They're obviously a top 10 type football team, and be a great matchup.
Coach, you don't think that you, by the way you played the Citadel today, that you overlooked the Citadel getting ready for Carolina next week, do you? And how important is that game to your program?
Oh no, I don't think we overlooked the Citadel. I think we were dialed in and probably played our best game of the year. Really, I don't know how we could have done much better, to be honest with you. But the South Carolina game it's very important to everybody that's involved in this program.
Dabo, if Sammy goes, how weird is it to envision a world here without Taj and Sammy as those sort of the rock star faces of the program?
Well, I mean, that's just, I've been doing this a long time, and that's just part of the deal, When Spiller and Jacoby left, other guys come in, They didn't close the doors when C.J. Spiller and Jacoby rolled out of here. You go and you get new guys, and that's the way it is. If you're going to have a great program, you're always going to graduate great players, and you just got to continue to recruit at a high level and develop your players. And we got some outstanding guys on campus and some great young men that'll be joining us. That's the sad part about coaching college football. In the NFL, you can keep them jokers until they can't. They're almost granddaddies. You keep them as long as they're healthy and they can play. But in college football, you get a maximum of 5 years, and sometimes it's 3, sometimes it's 4. But they have to move on, per the rules. They can't stay any longer. it's exciting because you want to see them, when you go recruit these guys, you want to see them become seniors and graduates and become men. And all of these guys, that's what's exciting about this group, is they're all men. I mean, they came here as young bucks, and now they're men. They're prepared for whatever's next, and so that's exciting. But it is sad because you won't have an opportunity to be on the field with them much longer, and certainly not here at home. But been a special group from start to finish.
Dabo, you hit a milestone today. How nice was it to hit that at the same time the school celebrated and the fans celebrated your first signing class, your first true signing class?
Well, it's great. I remember standing here February of '09, going into my first full season and getting the first signing class, and that dandy dozen. And 7 of those 12 are on this team right now. 3 of them graduated last year: Malachi, Meeks, and Carrico. Carrico's still with us. Malachi's with the Falcons. Meeks is with the Bills. And then JKJ got hurt, but graduated in 3 years. Bryce McNeil, just really didn't love football, but he graduated in 3 years. So all 12 of those got their degree, and then the walk-ons, Fagenbaum, Cat and Zero were recruited walk-ons that came in here and have been on scholarship for just about their whole career. But it wasn't a very heralded class. I loved every one of them, but it's not like we weren't on ESPN. Not many people were talking about our signing class. But like I just said, they've won more games in a 3-year span than any team in the history of this school. When they came here, we hadn't won a division. We've won 3 of them. We hadn't won an ACC title. We've done that. We hadn't won 11 games in 30-something years. They've done that. We hadn't beaten many top 10 teams. They've done that. I think we've had 6, maybe top 10 or 12 wins since these guys have been here. They have done some amazing things. And I know that they are focused on trying to just have the best finish because ultimately that's what everybody judges you by, is how you finish. And I know that they want their legacy to be the team that won 12 for the second time ever. And that's a great, it'd be a great accomplishment. It's a great focus thing for these guys.
How important is being South Carolina to you personally? Do you have a chip on your shoulder going in there?
I've been a part of 13 Alabama-Auburn games, and as a player and a coach, and this is my 11th Clemson, South Carolina game. They're all important. You live with it year round, and but I got to do a great job. Got to do a better job than what I've done in the past, and we got to play better. But it'd be great. I mean, nobody wants it more than me, I promise you. And you put your best foot forward and let the chips fall where they may.
What's the longest you've gone without hearing about South Carolina for the last year or two?
Well, my wife usually reminds me every morning that I wake up, and then by the time I get to breakfast, Will hits me with it. And that's just, listen, that's the nature of a rival game. It's great when you win. It stinks when you lose because it's just, it never goes away. And, you want to win that one. You want to win them all. But you definitely want to win for the fans because everybody wants bragging rights. And, we're going to do everything we can to do our part.
You having been a part of Auburn, Alabama, and now this one, those are probably the two rivalries that are compared kind of equally inside their own states. Can you just talk about kind of the uniqueness of those two rivalries that you've been such a big part of?
Well, I think this rivalry has really obviously grown. South Carolina didn't really have the history that Auburn had. Alabama-Auburn was the same division. It was a very, very close and competitive series and has been for years. A lot of times that game had national implications, division implications, the SEC championship, all that stuff, just like this year. Whereas Clemson, South Carolina really was more of a state rival. It really, didn't really have the national implications historically, but that's changed. I believe it's the second year in a row. Last year might have been maybe the first or second time ever to have 2 top 10 teams. And this is the second year in a row now that we're going to have two highly ranked teams nationally that are both competing for BCS opportunities. And so I think that has changed the way the country looks at this rivalry. And you got to give South Carolina a lot of credit in Coach Spurrier and what they've done with that program since he's been there, because they have become nationally relevant. And they've earned that through not just beating us. I mean, they've beaten Alabama, they've beaten Florida. They've won a lot of big games, and they won 11 back-to-back years. They've done a lot of good things, and so have we. So it's really kind of brought, I think, a much more national flavor to that game, because it has big-time implications now. Obviously, we're not in the same conference, but it's got national BCS meaning, and I think that's great. I think it's great for our state. It's great for this rivalry.
The past 2 years in particular, when they've kind of shut down y'all's offense, is there anything that sticks in your craw from those two games when you think back to them?
They just outcoached us, outplayed us. It's a few plays. Last year, what I remember in particular, it was 20-17 with about 5.5 minutes to play, and we got them 3rd and 19, and they run 20 yards for a draw. And right before that, we had a big drop right across midfield. So, they've just, again, outcoached us, outplayed us. I mean, there's really no excuses, bottom line. They've been the better team. They've proved that on the field. So nobody likes that, but that's the reality. If you don't like it, then we got to go do better.
Regardless of the outcome next weekend, do you think you guys have done enough to secure a BCS?
I'm not worried about all that stuff. I mean, I think we're one of the best teams in the country. I don't have any doubt about that. We got one loss to, maybe the best team in the country. And outside of that, our guys have played and performed very well, and have had some huge moments. I think we're certainly a team that should be there, but. All I'm focused on is trying to, just get win number 11. And, if we take care of the things that we control, then all that postseason stuff will take care of itself.
The fact that you have to go to Williams-Brice, where they have the longest winning streak in the nation, how much does that play into it? Do you even address that to your guys?
It got nothing to do with it. All the wins, or all that stuff, it doesn't matter. It's about playing football for 60 minutes. And playing as well as you can.
Anything else?
Someone asked earlier about next season and the possibility of a season without Taj and Sammy, but I know Teron Peak seemed like he was sort of poised to step up at the beginning of the season before he got hurt. How is his progression coming, and does he look good for the beginning of next season?
Yeah, he's great. He's doing well. I mean, we've lost a bunch of guys this year. Teron Peak, Carlos Watkins, Kevin Dodd, Kellen Jones. We've had some really, really good football players that have been out, and we'll get all those guys back. Sharon Peak was off to just a tremendous start to his season. Had a great spring, great summer, but he's doing good, and he'll be out there this spring, and really get him back rolling, and then expect him to come back better than ever next fall.
Coach, you're close to reaching your team goals. How do you keep your team confident going into next week's game?
Just the same formula for success that we have, and that's prepare with purpose. When you do that, you got great attention to details, great effort every day with an emphasis on technique that leads to good execution, and an all-in commitment on and off the field to be the best you can be. That's all we talk about. It's not really about anything else. It's about just our plan and focus on that every week. We're
about not getting overconfident?
I don't think they got any reason to be overconfident. They've had their butts whipped 4 years in a row. Ain't no reason to be overconfident. That's for sure.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay.